Ladies and gentlemen, hey, how are you? I'm back here with a little video I'm going to try to throw out real quick. I'm trying to discuss a little topic that some people have a lot of confusion with and try to, clown around about it and not be thorough or concise about this particular topic, meaning they try to lie about it or not be clear about it. Here I have Shadow of the Beast playing on my PlayStation 4 Slim, which I also have a PS4 Pro, and I want to talk about the aspect ratio of 16:9. All flat panel TVs are aspect ratio of a 16:9 size. There's also 4:3, which was on CRTs, and I believe the newest one is 31:2. I'm not really sure, but it's mainly for PC monitors, which gives you a wider peripheral panoramic views going horizontal. Now, as you can see, I have here Shadow of the Beast, okay, because it's already installed in my hard drive and I don't want to take out the disk and put it back in. And Shadow of the Beast, I want real quick for the gentleman helping me out to pause the game and go to the options. As you can see in the controls, it has no display option, meaning you can't go to the display yourself manually in the game itself and change the size ratio of the image of the screen on the game. Okay, so this is something I'm pointing out for those who may see the video a little bit later and say, oh yeah, you could do that with a lot of games. Yes, you can, but not all games have it. This is already natively giving you out a native transfer in 16:9. Now, I want to go to the dashboard on the console, okay, and go to the settings on the PlayStation 4. Okay, and we're going to go to screen and sound. Okay, then we're going to scroll down to display area, as you guys see there. In this display area, this gives you the option. I'm going to turn on my thing a little bit. I don't know if you can see it as well. Gives you the option where you can raise up to match, raise up the image to match the size of whatever TV you have, in case a game is not natively transferred over in 16:9. Which is an argument and a discussion that I have periodically with different people. Today I was discussing this, trying to explain it to Charlie Kyle. Shout outs to him. Good guy in the gaming community. You know, he's a neutral. He plays all types of stuff. Me and him always have discussions from time to time. He's never, a disrespectful person. So I was trying to explain to him, but it's a lot to put in text, so I'm going to explain it visually and verbally because this is what I like to clarify things with real images. If you put these corners up with enlarging and shrinking it, you can actually configure it to the size of your TV. And the reason this option is given to you on the console is because not all games are compressed or transferred over in the same resolution, or in this case, format setting or aspect ratio, if you will. So we're going to get out of this screen and we're going to go and load up God of War 3, which I explained, or I was trying to explain to Charlie Kyle and a couple other people on Twitter. Go to God of War, that when I bought God of War 3, it automatically comes at a set format. And God of War, when you play it, it's the game on PS4, okay, not PS3, was formatted inside a black box. Now, the reason I believe they chose to do this is because they wanted to keep it at a native 1080p transfer in 60 frames without losing texture quality. Now, when a game is formatted at 16:9 and it's not done or transferred over right from the actual development of the game, then it's not going to be natively putting out the right resolution or the intended resolution. In this case, God of War was a PS3 game that was ported over. and the resolution was bumped up from, I believe, 6 something p or 580p or something like that to a 1080p native. On PS4 it would upscale to 720p. Okay, so the game in its very nature, the way that it really is intended to was ported over, is in a smaller aspect ratio. So the reason they did this is so that you don't have to stretch the pixels out, because if you stretch the pixels out, then the game will probably be at a 900p resolution in 60 frames. This is what happened with games like The Order 1886. Okay, so in The Order 1886, the developers said clear as day that the reason why they chose to leave the game in letterbox format was because they wanted the resolution to be at 800p with high quality textures without losing any attention to detail. If they stretched it out to match 16:9 from point to point, which is from here to here diagonally, because that's the way it's measured, then it would have been maybe 720p or maybe 700p, flat, because then you lose texture quality. So they instead opted to leave the game with a box in the top and the bottom. They also did this with games like Evil Within, and Evil Within was captured, I believe, in 900p. And now, then they put the option and patched it in at, 16:9. The Evil Within, I believe, now is 720p or a little bit over. It's almost like a 793p, kind of like Titanfall. So it's not a full resolution or natively at, let's say 900 to 1080p. It's upscale. So this is what I tried to explain with God of War. God of War, you guys gonna notice, and what I was saying was that it was inside a box. Okay, we can't skip these CGs because it's reading it. What I did was I erased all the saves I have to start it from scratch to show you that it's right from the beginning when you play the game. Okay, as you're gonna see. Matter of fact, give me 1 second. I'll be right back in 1 second. As you're gonna see here, I'm back. As you're gonna see here, the game is displaying inside a black box. As you can see, it's in a black box. You see it? Because I believe the real format for this was a little higher than 4:3, and they left it in this way natively. As you can see there, see, native, it's in a box, so that it can transfer the game and it will not lose the resolution. The game could be at a native 1080p resolution. Now, what I'm gonna do is, to prove what I'm saying, is we're gonna pause the game. Okay, do a quick pause after this cinematic, because you can't skip none of the cinematics in this game. That's how they keep the fluent animation from movie CGs into the actual gameplay in the actual game. That's the technique they use. That's why you can't pause it while you're, the game is on in these CG cut moments. Again, I gotta get closer. It's ridiculous. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the flashlight or. Let me turn the flashlight off. I don't know if you can see it better. No. Turn on the flashlight. Okay, see, it's inside a box. On the top. It's on the top, you see? Bottom. And if you notice, you see that that's the TV. That's where it ends. This is the bottom part of the TV. This is the space you got, gap there, and the gap you got there. Okay, so now we're going to pause the game once he starts playing. Okay, my assistant is going to start playing now. He paused the game. Now we're going to go back to the PS settings. Okay, and we're going to go to, again, sound and screen. And what's he picking? Display setting area. And look what it is. You see how it is? It's not matching the corner. So now we're going to start to match it. And watch how it goes up. You see? Boom. Up. A little more. No, match it up more. More. You can't see the whites. That's it? Okay. That is, now we got a full screen. Now we're going to go back into God of War 3. Boom. And play it. It's still reading as so. But I think what he has to do is he has to exit the game and go back in the game. We're going to exit the game. This is just so you guys can see. We're doing it in real time, so there's no oh, he faked ABS. You saw I changed the display and it still was showing in the same setting. We're going to do it again. Go to the screen setting. Make sure that it was changed. It was already enlarged. It's there. It's formatted. Now we'll go in the game. Once again. I'm trying not to pause because I don't want to make the video too long. But then if I pause it, you guys might think that I did some hokey doke shit, and I don't want to do that. I wanted this to be all in real time. So please bear with me. Now, not only can you do that within the settings of the console itself, because you can do it on Xbox One. The difference with Xbox One is it tells you to leave it 16:9, 4:3, or full, whichever one you pick right from the jump. So if you put it on 16:9, all games read 16:9 because they're formatted in 16:9 for the Xbox One console. On the PS4, not all games are formatted that way. They're left at a certain distance. As a matter of fact, for what I understand, Final Fantasy 15 has the exact same issue that God of War had, that you didn't see the full screen. Now look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look, see how the screen is now? The screen is from one point to the other, from point to point. This is what Charlie Kyle put up on his video real quick, showing already formatted on his TV. So the game looks in 16:9 full on your screen because you have to manually put it up to that setting and shrink the screen up and down with this particular game. Because as you guys saw when I first started the video, Shadow of the Beast and other games like Uncharted or even Horizon Zero Dawn, Until Dawn, or even Last of Us for that matter, the collection. None of those games need you to stretch out the panel. They are all formatted natively, again, natively in 16:9. So the God of War transfer is not a native 16:9 transfer. It's you giving you the ability to stretch out the game manually so that the resolution is kept bit by bit at 1080p with the 60 frames per second. Not only that, go to the menu on God of War, please. If you go to the menu on God of War, the game itself, and you pick options on the God of War, on the God of War game, we go to options. Okay. I'm trying to find this. See if you can do it right from here. No, then it's right from the menu screen. If you pick options right from the menu screen, which is basically we have to close it out, reload the game. Yeah, I know. Pain in the fucking ass. You know, that's PlayStation for you people. Sony Santa Monica Studios. And yes, for those of you, I am running it on the PlayStation 4. I have the Slim on top, as you see there. And I got the Pro on the bottom. So there's no bullshitting here. Like other people like to do, where they like to, move the goalposts and do a lot of reaching and don't explain things thoroughly. Okay? If you go here, as you see in the display, not only can you do it on the console, they let you adjust it right from there. So let's say if you pick screen location, go all the way up on the screen locator, and you look at the corners. You see the corners? You can shift it from right to left or left to right, as you can see there. You see that? There you go. You see it in real time. See? So that means it gives you the option to also adjust it even further within the actual menu options in the display option tab on the game itself. So once again, I'm explaining this as thorough as possible, and the point of it is that God of War 3 on the PlayStation 4 is not a true 16:9 transfer display. It is kept at a native either 4:3 or maybe a little higher, so that you don't stretch out the pixels and it loses resolution quality natively, so that it won't be at a native 1080p and maybe not go down from 1080p to 950p or 975p, because they don't count the resolution in that format. But that's what it does. It loses resolution. So Charlie, please, next time when you say something about resolution or the format and argue it, be clear and specify everything in thorough detail. This is what I was trying to tell you guys that you cannot do with a 5:30 20-second video. This is why I did the video this way. I'm going to put it up and I'm going to show it to you guys. God of War 3, and again, if I go to the display and I change it on the console, the game will be inside a box. Okay? And not all games do it, because as you saw, Shadow of the Beast was in the same format, full 16:9, even though on the console itself the settings were not adjusted to give you a full screen from point to point display of 16:9. So no, not all games are formatted on PlayStation 4 in full 16:9. The same thing happened with Final Fantasy 15. That is my argument, and that's what I'm trying to explain. Thanks to God for your time. I hope you liked the video. And Charlie, shout outs to you. I like having discussions with you. It's always fun. But this is what I was trying to explain to you in a more detailed fashion. I hope this explains my point of view and you understand what I was explaining. Thanks for joining me, guys. See you soon.